Welcome to the Lake Show, where you can find out what's going on in and around Lake Loudoun. This show is brought to you by the Fort Loudoun Lake Association, a nonprofit environmental conservation organization that keeps Fort Loudoun Lake safe, clean, and fun. I'm Angela Howard, the Executive Director of Fort Loudoun Lake Association, and I work with zone managers and an in-house scientist who remove trash and debris daily, educate our community on pollution prevention, and monitor stormwater and the health of our streams. And today I'm very happy to welcome back Jason Cassell,
Thank you.
who is the owner of Dockside Detailing, a mobile company that details your boat. Welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
I'm glad you're back too. You wanted to be back.
I did.
So I wanted to mention that we had talked before the show about an idea that you had. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I had an idea for raising some more funds to get more awareness for the association. And we kind of had an idea to partner up with some people to basically clean boats and have the donations go to Fort Loudoun Lake Association.
So why did you come up with that? I mean, it's an altruistic idea, but why? I mean, this is profit for you, so why?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we would get some exposure, but the main thing is when I was first on your show, you know, and being out close in the water, you know, I realized how many people really don't know about you guys and what you do.
Yeah.
So I can see that there is a very large need for it, and I think we could fill the gap. And plus, you know, that's where I work. That's where I recreate. That's where I fish. That's where I enjoy, you know, my life is on the lake. So it's just kind of what I do. And
when you said it's the charitable contribution and the awareness at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, both of things that we could really use. You know, speaking on that subject about charitable contributions and, you know, where that money goes is something that the audience might need to know about. Even you. I mean, if you're going to raise money for us, which is so nice, where does that money go? You know, does it go to take me out to dinner? No. I wish. But actually it goes to our guys on the river. And right now our funding has been tight, really tight. So tight to the point where I only have one full-time guy and a part-time guy.
Wow.
Do you remember how many miles the whole river is?
I don't know exactly how many miles the river is, but I can tell you I was at one marina, and just over, you know, how often the lake fluctuates. You know, you pick up a lot of trash up and down, so there is that great need, but it's kind of overwhelming just when you see in one marina, you know, so one guide, 1.5, however many you got, I mean, clearly not enough.
It's 50 miles of water one way. If you look at both sides, that's 100 miles of water, 350 miles of shoreline.
Wow.
So that's a lot. And so I can tell the audience, I can tell people who get a great idea, oh, I'd like to help them make money too. That money goes to put a body on the water, another body. You know, we need to get our half guy into full-time and then another guy. We have 4 boats, and I'm sure they could use some detailing.
Yeah.
We have 4 very muddy, 4 workboats from Volunteer Landing down to Fort Loudoun Dam. And we only have 1.5 guys to work them. But anyway, I don't want to make a sad story, but it is an appeal to the audience that we could certainly use a fundraiser or the money, and we do have fundraising, and to go to our website, FLLAKE.org, and push events. You know, you can find out our events on our scheduling. We got a lot of cool fundraisers coming up, and we welcome yours also. So the money, yes, it goes to a great cause. Then I'm going to ask you this whole awareness thing. We were kind of talking about this a little bit earlier too. So if you weren't on my show and somebody didn't say, hey, go talk to this woman about, you know, cleaning up, who do you think cleans the lake up? Your first reaction was, go to your first reaction, not the second one. We'll get to that one.
My first reaction would be TVA. But
that was your second reaction. The first reaction was you thought nobody did it.
Yeah, first reaction, of course, no one did it because you don't see anyone out in the water. But my initial gut on who should be responsible for it or would participate in helping out would be TVA.
Why is that?
I mean, that's just the name that you associate with all our body of water. I mean, that's who is associated with all our dams and producing hydroelectric power. And
so they're making money off this water, aren't they?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. When I was a little girl, we talked about this. I grew up on that river, which was naturally formed when the Holston and the Broad came together. and it formed this natural river. And then, because of the flooding, and I understand that, TVA was formed and came in and built the dam. Reclaimed land, not even reclaimed, they claimed land, they flooded, they redirected. So pretty much, these guys pretty much built that lake, right?
That's correct.
Okay, I don't want to make any leading questions here. But it's an interesting topic because it's become a hot one around me right now. And I've asked a lot of people, I've surveyed and said, who do you think? And they immediately think TVA because they own it and they're making money off of it. But unfortunately, I have to say that they're not a big provider of much of anything that we do. And this isn't like an expose or anything, but they don't have boats on the water anymore. So I do want to mobilize citizens around that. And we do need an awareness, not only, where the money comes from, where we should get support, but also people need to know not to litter. And I talked about that too. And your love of the lake, I mean, what would you say if you could have a podium to the citizens of Knoxville? What would be your dissertation?
Well, I mean, first off, we're talking two boaters, so, you are using the lake to recreate or, your livelihood from it. There's a lot of people that, are in the marine industry, and that's how they make their living. But just probably to educate them on to treat it just like they would, their house or anything. You're not just going to throw trash in your floor. You're going to throw it in a trash can and dispose of it properly, and it's the same thing on the lake.
But then again, you got to remind people, it's not so much what they throw in the lake, because those people do kind of care. It's the people that aren't on the water that are dumping their stuff in the parking lots. That when we have a rain event, it goes right down into our lovely Lake Loudoun. So that's an awareness campaign. Do you have any ideas how we could bring that awareness to people besides on this wonderful show? Yeah,
I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, because you're talking to pretty much the whole population of Knoxville. So, I mean, just overall educating them on the fact that their trash does end up in our waterways.
And maybe they should volunteer to come clean it up.
Yeah.
Because then you would know what your neighbors are throwing out of the household, right?
That's correct.
I got a question for you.
All right.
Guess a number. Guess how many tires my zone manager pulled off the shores just today. Give me a number.
I'm going to say 12.
21 tires.
That's crazy.
Off the shores of Knox County, mostly the parks.
Damn.
So, and this is a message out to the fishermen. You know that they make these fish habitats by stringing together. You know about that, right? Stringing together tires. No.
It's not a good fish habitat anyway, so.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that because I'm not a fishing person, but I know that you could do it with sinking logs and I guess some other natural. We do it with sinking logs, big trees and things like that. But the tire situation. Okay, I'll give you another guess. In 1 week, okay, if he got 21 tires in one day, how many do you think, I mean, possibly could be in the river anyway, but how many do you think he got in a week, one week, a couple weeks ago?
I'll say 100.
Well, 82. Can you imagine? 82 plus 21 is how much? 103?
Well, that's a lot of heavy lifting right there, too.
Yeah, well, yeah. So this all goes to point to, we have a problem. I mean, do you agree that we have?
I agree.
That we have a trash problem and a pollution problem? Probably makes your job. Probably get a lot of business from the gook and stuff that these guys have to drive through. Here's another one. Our zone managers are first responders. He was out there and he saw an oil spill.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you want to ski through that, swim through it, paddle through it? Ooh, gas burn on the face. Can you imagine? And he was being conscious and he followed it up to a barge that was in construction. And it could have been a mistake, you know, some gas could have fallen over. But it's just those kind of things compounded that if we could have a little more, like you said, awareness. So let me ask you this. How do you think we could bring awareness to these people? And not just boaters, Jason. What about the citizens of Knoxville? What would you propose?
I mean, you'd have to launch some sort of campaign, of some sort of magnitude, and obviously someone's going to have to spend the time to do that, and the funds are going to have to come from somewhere. So, I mean, you'd have to have some sort of campaign to educate people in the area of where their trash goes.
Where the trash goes. And even if they don't care about the lake, just the fact that they're making life worse for all of us around.
I will say it has gotten better because, you know, you see the little fish symbols on drains. And
Yeah.
At least it's somewhat, someone's not going to pour oil from their car down it. Or they may think twice before they do that, so.
Yeah, actually someone saw on Gay Street a janitor take the mop water out and pour it down the storm drain. You know, it's those kind of things. But yeah, there are many efforts with stormwater departments and the city about educating people and telling them not to do that.
I mean, I think that's a great start. At least they're somewhat aware of it. And, you know, like I said, it's a start of something, but still the person needs to be aware. They probably don't care about the fish symbol. There's probably no campaign behind them.
No, you think it's going to make them stop, maybe?
I mean, maybe think twice. But it's just like anything, you know, like in business, we get our name out as much as we can. So hopefully, you know, after they hear us, you know, the 100th time, maybe they'll come to us. But it's the same thing. You gotta get your name and your campaign out there, you know, 100 times to that one person to make a difference. So it's not easy to do, but you know, it is worth it for our environment.
You know what that's called in marketing?
What?
TOMA. Top of mind awareness.
There you go.
So you have to like pound the message in,
Yep.
pound the message in, and so that's something that I'd love for my viewers to do is to call us up. We're at 865-523-3800. Best thing is to go on our website, FLLAKE, FLLAKE.org, and write me an email. You know, get active, talk to the commissioners, the city and county commissioners. City's doing a great job partnering with us. I can't say so much about anyone else right now, but to talk to the commissioners and talk to your neighbors and come together. I mean, it's going to take us to help this river.
That's correct.
To really help this river. So are you waiting for summer to get here?
I am. Survived the freezing cold, and we have been rewarded with some warmer weather, but it's just a taste. I'm ready for some warm, consistent weather.
Yeah, and we got to get TVA to put the water back up.
There you go.
With the sun shining coming down. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming back on our show.
I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, it's great to have river lovers out here, and we'll see you out there cleaning up our boats and making them pretty.
Sounds great.
So let me say thank you for joining us today, and remember what we do is REM. We remove trash and debris daily, we educate our community on pollution prevention, and we monitor stormwater and the health of our streams. 2 ways you can help out is donate at flake.org, FLLAKE.org, or volunteer. Sign up for our newsletter and find out what's going on the lake. It's only once a month, and it's really kind of fun to find out how we're doing and how the lake is doing. Thank you so much.